Hey, what's up everybody? Prospector here with Watch Your Realms. Today I'm showing you a little secret how to save yourself a ton of time and make things a little more convenient for you. Without further ado, let's dig in. Alright guys, so what exactly am I talking about making things convenient? What I'm talking about is just making things a little more smoother and saving yourself a ton of time. And there's a few tricks you can do to make this happen. Now we're all limited on gear, and you know how we all move our gear around. I'm going to explain this. I just collected my rewards for the guild boss. So what I'm going to do is going to go in here. This is my team for guild boss 1. Now these guys have to be geared up every single day. You know, sometimes if I decide to do anything else, I have to move their gear around. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to make sure that they're geared up by using the gear plan. So I'll check, make sure that they're all built. We have our plans here, and let's find Torador. Guild boss, he is geared. Go to the next one. Lust, is she geared? She's not geared, so I need to find her build, and then I'm gonna put it on her, just like we all do almost probably every day if you're moving gear around and doing anything else besides guild boss every single day. Arrogant, so go and you'll gear them, and I will go ahead and gear up the rest of these guys and be right back after this time lapse. Alright, so my team is all geared. Typically, I'm going to go ahead and run my guild boss runs, and then I'm going to go and do my daily stuff about how do we save time with this team that I use. This team is going to be going into guild boss. They're all geared up now. What about everything else? Well, I got to thinking about saving time, and even though I have a lot of gear here, there's like a lot of gear, so I can just go into like Soulbound Arcana sets. Let's see, there's all kinds of pieces in here I'm not even using, as you can see. It doesn't mean that I want to go ahead and have other heroes geared either, because it's hard to keep track of, because I'll move stuff around for other kind of builds and other runs that I'm going to be doing. So what I'm doing is, the first one is going to be going into Void Rift. We'll go into Void Rift. I mean, this may be a little bit more of a late to end game kind of thing to be doing. I will go into Void Rift, and I will try to make it so my guild boss team can take on as much as Void Rift as possible without any others. I'm going to go into auto fight here. You can see for the most part, besides some defenders, because you have to have some defenders built and you don't have to worry about moving their gear around typically. But I will go in there. I'm running a Silas, which typically I normally run like a Boreas and a Comet and all that in this team. On this level, I mean. So I'm running a Hex. Elowen's on my guild boss team, and she's always built anyways. Now you can use heroes that are always never really messed with as well. But try to use your guild boss team to take on all of the stages within Void Rift and save your auto battles, even though they're not faster or fastest. And then you can go ahead and save yourself a bunch of time throughout the week running your moving gear around in general. So you can do this all the way through. Now when you get to the boss stages, you don't have to use the same heroes, but you don't have to move gear off of your guild boss team either. It makes it easier even if you just go ahead and use the same heroes. I wanted to give this tip to people. This way all you have to do is build up your guild boss team, get their gear on them, and then you can just go ahead and run right through Void Rift in full auto battles. Don't have to worry about anything. Nobody's gear is going to be missing. All the stages that you have saved you're going to pass. It was a huge game changer for me to get it done. And I also do the same thing in the Pantheon or in the faction trials. So if you're going through here, you go to the basic trial, stage 8. You see I'm running the exact same team, well, plus a defender and a different healer as well. But then you just pretty much run the same kind of team through here. You can just auto battle right through that as long as your guild boss team is built and you're in the clear. And then when the faction specific one, obviously we try to use any hero that is faction specific, like your Hex. You do want to have him in there. He is in there, it's just not showing. Typically you'll have these guys all built up, and then I always just auto equip all the other ones unless I'm trying to pass a stage or something. And I try to do that throughout the whole thing. So my gear raids, gear raid 1 obviously is a little hard to be doing it with, but you still can do it. You might have to build up a specific hero like Boreas or something, have it come along, but I run my Silas on there. I run Elowen. It's the same types of heroes. Gear raid 2 is the same thing. I try to use for my platform unit, I try to use one of my heroes like, you know, Hex or Silas or whatever you can do. Come up with a team comp on there using your guild boss team mostly, or at least your DPS units to do all the damage. For gear raid 3, I mean, obviously we're gonna be running Silas. I have to throw Idril in there, so Idril's in an Ageless Wrath set that I'm not using on anybody else. Hatsuit's not even being used. And so you can see already, I already have 2 heroes on here. I already have 2 heroes on here, or 3 heroes on here. Well, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 heroes from my guild boss team gonna be running this. All I have to do is make sure that Nyx and Idril are built up. Hollow, you can just swap her out with Element. Hollow was in there because I was using her on my guild boss team until recently. It could be just like this, and you could run the same comp that you're running on a guild boss team. Right, I'm actually doing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of my guild boss heroes are on this team, and you don't have to ever worry about it. So build your guild boss team. You want to run gear raid 3, go ahead and go and start it. You don't have to worry about gearing anybody up, and you're golden. Gear dungeons are a little bit of a more difficult story. It's kind of hard to run your guild boss team because they are very specific. I mean, you can use things like, you know, your Hex or whatever in there. Silas, of course. Even if you have power dominance unlocked on these stages, it's pretty difficult to just use your guild boss comps for this, so I don't typically do that. I will gear those guys up specifically to get my runs in for the month. Now for EXP raids and gold raids, I am using the same kind of teams, but I am far enough in the game and have enough gear that I have Boreas and Comet both geared up almost 99% of the time with their own Soul Bond Arcana sets or Ageless Wrath sets, typically Ageless Wrath because it's laying around and I'm not using it for anything else. So running those are pretty simple. You even have, you know, Cerberus and a Night Terror set kind of laying around. But if you can do it with just your guild boss team, it could save you time. Again, not gearing up heroes. You just go in there and you want to start an EXP raid or a gold raid, just go ahead and start it. Artifact Material raid has gotten a little more difficult to do that now that we have stages 19 through 22. But you can definitely set up 18 with just your guild boss team. Maybe 19 and 20 even. 21 and 22 is going to be a little more difficult. They're a little bit more hero specific, and the heroes that you do use are going to need really good gear, so you have to probably move gear around for Artifact Material Raid 21 and 22. That's pretty much the gist of the video. Take your guild boss team, run them into the resource raids, like EXP and gold raids, run them into your Void Rift teams, run every single stage with your guild boss team, run as many of the gear raids as you can with your guild boss team, plus or minus a few tanks or whatever you need. You can also run an Artifact Material raid as far as you can go with it. The same thing goes with gear dungeon. Try to use as many of these heroes as you can. That way you're not moving so much gear around. You can save yourself a ton of time at the week, during the beginning of the week especially, when you have to do things like Void Rift. You know, I can pretty much just kind of hang out here and just hit auto battle all the way through Void Rift after doing my guild boss runs, and it doesn't take me very long to get done with my weekly routine. Anyways, guys, I hope this video was helpful for you. Hope it saves you some time in the future. If it did, don't forget to like and subscribe. Leave a comment down in the section below. If you have any other ideas on how to save some time throughout the week, let me know. I am definitely interested in that and trying to make everybody's time more efficient in Watcher realms. They're not so deterred by how much time it's taking you to do things. But anyways, thanks for tuning in, and until next time, keep digging.